I'm Aravind. I've been at Concur for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. It's been a while. In the technology world, it's been a while. I've been here since June 2017. I graduated from Oregon State right before that, so junior dev. Bit about me, I'm more interesting than just technology. I like to meditate, I speak a dying language, and I'm on some committees that focus on preserving that dying language. Sometimes you need to do something that has no happy ending. And I really like hip hop. I can quote a lot of rap songs. Now, I was going to rant today for a few minutes, more of a lightning rant, about technical debt and why I think you should all break your projects. Now, here's the thing. At some point, if you're a developer long enough, or in my case, if you're a developer for 3 days, you'll be put on a team that is tasked with building a project really quickly. And oftentimes, the decision to make something really quickly won't have been really made with your consultation or any of the devs around you. It'll just be, it has a need, and that need needs to be fulfilled by now. And then your executives will come to you, or at least this is what it feels like to a developer's perspective. I see some directors over there maybe like making some interesting faces at me. This is what it feels like to be a dev, okay? Someone will come to me and be like, okay, you have this much work to do it. And I mean, through Agile, that kind of, it's a bit more formalized than that. But that forces you to make certain decisions while you're writing code. You're like, okay, well, I should probably not incur a whole bunch of technical debt. But when you talk to executive management about that, they'll maybe make this face. But what you'll start doing is you'll start writing code that you can use in multiple places. I mean, obviously, if you're going to have 150 lines of code that can be used in 2 different places, why wouldn't you do it that way? You know, if you need a slightly different use case in one place versus another, you're just going to have, the additional conditional that you need, and then share it between your two features. However, give that 2 years, and once that ferments, and you might find yourself tearing that code away entirely, having to rewrite it, spending a whole lot of time just refactoring. However, if you are going to need to do this, you should make your code as generic as possible. Avoid the conditionals if you can. Try to make it so that you literally can write that one piece of code and never have to touch it again. But if you do ever have to touch it again, well, try to avoid what's happening. You see, when this feature was built, and this is our new Concur Expense product, it's nice and shiny, it's great, and eventually those of you that use Concur will get to use it. When we were developing the receipts feature, and I shouldn't say we because this feature was developed well before me, so I'm going to defer credit to whoever wrote this, some nameless person. They probably saw, okay, well, you have the same exact attach, upload, append, receipt functionality in 2 different places in UI. So why not literally share the component and module logic between those 2 places? And that's exactly what happened. The trouble is, depending on what view you're in, you get data from different places. What that has caused is a bunch of runaway technical debt. And that might have ended up with some serious bugs that might have cost the company a lot of money that I might have cost. And after going through this ordeal, and actually I shouldn't say after because I'm currently going through this ordeal of rewriting this, I have some things to say. If you have 2 different places in code where you're doing basically the same thing, but maybe you're getting data from somewhere else, or you have just slightly different, needs, slightly different business logic, something like that, should you share the module? I would advocate no. It's better to replicate that 150 lines of code, literally copy and paste it, and then have just the slight tweak that you need for long-term maintainability. And to further drive that point, when writing code, write something that you can delete. Think of code almost like, think of a module like a puzzle piece. If you write a module and it's almost entirely self-contained, as much as you can possibly make it self-contained, that means that when someone goes in and tries to, needs to delete that code for whatever reason, needs to rewrite it, there's just for whatever reason, you can delete it with peace of mind. Because oftentimes what you end up with is if you're sharing actions, if you're sharing modules all over the place, you'll be scared to delete stuff. And more so if that's not your own code. Other people on your team will look at your code and go, well, you know, if I delete this, maybe it'll cause a cascading, you know, it'll cascade, you know, a bunch of, I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. It'll cascade, create lots of problems, okay? So write stuff that you can delete. And that's mainly what I have to say today. Help me prevent technical debt today. There was supposed to be a song that played in the background, and it was supposed to add comedic effect, but I guess we didn't set that up today.
Yeah, it's good song.
So yeah, delete your code. Any questions? It was a really quick rant.